Train by day, Kyle Wigginton podcast by night, all day.
Knox Ketchum. What's up? What's up, baby?
What's going on with you, man?
You see you, dude. Another day, another Sunday.
Yep. Shout out to Guy for letting me wake up.
Yeah, right. That fucking guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a while since I talked to you.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of stuff has happened.
You've been doing some cool shit, man. What have you been up to? I know you've been doing cool stuff here, but I don't keep up with everything you do outside of this place. But you do cool stuff.
I work, every now and then I get some stuff going. The last thing I did though was here, the Friendsgiving event that I did.
Yeah.
There's another one coming up too, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, outside of this, I'm just recording, like artist, recording myself, trying to get better. I've started producing a little bit more, making beats.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been doing that like as you know, in the past, but I'm getting back into it right now.
That's what Kanye started, right? He started like,
yeah. To be honest, that's like one of my main inspirations, like with musically. And every time I listen to his music,
clarified.
yeah, musically. But so every time I hear his stuff, it makes me want to produce and try to make beats and just be unconventional with it, because I feel like that's just always been my approach, and it's hard for me to like sit there and like play out something like it has to come like just kind of in an unconventional way, or like a sample or something strange, like that you wouldn't hear every day. I try to do stuff like that, or, bring it like some nostalgia stuff, like some soulful type. That's what I've been on lately, making beats, like some soul beats.
Yeah.
Some like old hip hop style stuff, and, just diversify my portfolio moving forward.
I mean, do you like rap over those after you,
Yeah, some of them I do. Yeah. I don't have anything out, but I have some music that I produce myself. I just haven't dropped anything yet that I've done, but I plan on in 2023 starting the year off like going in with, some real original stuff. Like, I like working with other producers and collaborating with them, but I'm just in a different mode when I'm making my own music, like my own beats. The music comes out just different. The things I'm writing come out like a little more personal, and I get a little deeper, No,
I feel that, man. Like whenever I'm doing stuff for other people, like I said, I do the logos for the gamers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm doing that stuff, it's kind of like going through the motions. Like it's not that creatively fun, because they're like, I want something that looks like this. Yeah. And I go and I recreate that look. But if I'm doing something for myself, it's coming from me.
Mm-hmm. And the sky's the limit then.
Mm-hmm.
But and so, outside the bar, I just, produce. I'm engineering I have a few main clients that I work with. Recording myself, obviously, and just trying to get better every day at what I'm doing, and trying to expand and meet different artists and different people, like creative people.
Yeah, that's the way to
and
do
business
it,
people, investors, anybody out there,
No, for sure, man. That's the way to roll for sure. That's why I thought you might the guys last night. I'm gonna have them on the podcast, but we had a they call themselves the synth cult, NOLA synth cult.
Yeah. So
they come here with like these massive synthesizers. Like that entire room was just full of chords last night. It was insanity.
That's cool. Yeah, I seen a short clip online. It looked cool.
Yeah, it was insane to me, man. Because like I didn't know what those guys were doing, but that might be some cool stuff. I don't know.
How did you were here, or you weren't here for it?
I was here for about an hour, so I caught 3 of the performers.
Yeah. And so how was it? It was was it some different stuff? Like
it was so different, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool though. Like some of them, they were throwing like bass lines and stuff in there too. So I mean, It was the synthesizers, but then they were also like dropping in some like new age type stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. I'm not sure how that would like integrate into like certain musics, but there might be some inspiration for you. Well, when they get them on the podcast, I'm going to have them bring their synthesizers into it. I think maybe do some stuff in here.
Yeah.
So we'll get a little bit of that on there too.
Yeah, that's cool. Hell yeah. I'm always into looking into new stuff, new sounds. And, just taking it from there one day at a time.
Yeah, that's here lately. I've been like in this mode where I'm kind of like ready to start working on a new big project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Film's my jam. I think I'm gonna start writing something to do a film. It's time,
Yeah.
Sometimes you just feel it,
No, for sure. If you catch a wind of inspiration, you need to ride it, you know?
Yeah, some guys like you guys that do it like day in, day out, man, that's something I can't do. Like that's a different like mode of artistry right there. Like I have to give like a good spurt and then like take some time off and then give another good run. That's kind of how I've figured it out.
I've worked like that too before, but really to push yourself, like if you need motivation, and I've said this before to people I know, but the motivation is in the work itself. So even, you know, if you don't feel like doing it, or you like, oh, I'm not motivated or inspired to do it, it's in the work. You have to start somewhere, like start working, just push through whatever you're going through and get it done. Cause the inspiration is there and the motivation, you'll remember why you're doing it, you know, putting in some good, pure work.
Yeah, no, that's what, who's the writer that's written like a million fucking things? Can't think right now, but he says every morning he wakes up and he goes and sits in front of his computer. Yeah. And he makes sure he writes for like an hour or 2 hours. Even if it's the worst shit ever, he writes like a few pages and then gets up and leaves.
Yeah. It's like exercising, basically. Yeah, just make it part of your routine. If you exercise and you're a creative person, like, it's the same for exercising too. Like people don't want to get up and do that.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah. But you know, once you're in the middle of it, you're remembering why you're doing it. And you're like, all right, I'm glad I feel good. I'm glad I did this.
Get those little endorphins released.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, you don't see it until you start doing it, especially if you've been doing something for so long, like, and you take, you know, shit for granted or.
That's a big part of it, man. Yeah. I think people get complacent.
Yeah. Getting complacent for sure. That's not, it's not always the best way to go. You know, you'll mess yourself up like that.
Man, what's your outlook on the world right now, dude?
My outlook on the world, in general, ain't much I could do to change it.
That's what a lot of people say, man. A lot of people are just like, I'm trying to focus on me. And I think that's honestly the best way to be, because literally, like me and you can sit here and scream all day long. Yeah. But, you know, our screaming's not going to do anything.
No, I mean, I'll affect the world around me. Obviously, like you can't touch everybody out there trying to make them think your way. And, you know, you have to respect people's way of thinking. Like, it's not your life. Everyone feels like the main character in their life. So it's like, you just have to accept things. Obviously, there's boundaries that can be crossed and, you know, you deal with that as you go. But, I just feel like, try to change the world around you, like be the change you want to see, you know, blah, blah, blah. The same saying, but it's true. You should do that.
No, well, I don't think a lot of people ever elaborate on that statement either. You know, people say change the world around you, but no one ever says, you know, just look at the group of people that you hang out with all the time. Like try to lift those people up. Because when you lift those people up, when they get a win, you get a win.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how it operates. That's why, like, for me, I look at this street and I'm like, who can I do something just like to try to benefit a little bit? And even like with the Good Bird and stuff, you know, I helped them out with some of their social media stuff. I love to like help people, and that gives me like satisfaction inside too. But every time they grow, I grow. Yeah,
for sure. It's like a give and take, like, and you feed off of each other, like the people around you, no matter what field they're in, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure, man. We're in different fields, but we try to do what we can to work with each other, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And and if the people around you are miserable, you are going to be miserable too. So you have to remember that, like, keep them happy, you know, if you have influence in a platform to do so, like, you know, just treat people right. And, you know, you're all going to grow together. It's a lot better than the other way around.
Yeah, it's a good outlook, man. Hopefully we can get you guys into like the Gossa down there too.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to look into doing that.
Gossa, get with it. Get with it, Gossa.
Yes, we put on a good show.
Y'all shows are dope, man. Like, what do you got planned for the 30th? You're doing something on the 30th, right? Yeah,
December 30th, I'm going to put on the last show of the year for me. I'm going to headline per se. And I got my friend Pug, who plays guitar. He's going to be with me as a special guest, and we're going to do a couple songs together. And I have my girl Yells. She's a rapper from New Orleans that I've been knowing for a while. She does her thing out here in the city and beyond. She's a good artist, great person. And Then I have my friend ROTR Day. He's a rapper from the city also. He's a youngster, you know, and he's got his thing going. He's like a rapper, you know, type of guy. But he, you know, he's diverse. He could do his thing. So I feel like they're gonna put on a good show and help, you know, warm up the stage for me so I can come out and do my thing.
Bro, your music's fucking good. So I mean, the people you're gonna have come and warm up for you, I bet they're amazing too.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I always try to, you know, pick people that mesh well with me. I don't know how to say. Well, no, it was even cool that like for the Thanksgiving thing, you had Payson come through. Mm-hmm. Like Payson, and that worked.
Yeah, totally different type of music than you guys did. But the crowd,
shout out to Payson.
Yeah, shout out to Payson Tremaine. But the type of crowd that came in that night, they were receptive to all types of music, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And it worked. Like we tied it in by having BJ perform with them, and they didn't even really know each other. We just rehearsed a couple of times at the studio. Like they met a few days before the show, and they got some rehearsing time in, and it paid off because, you know, they did a good show. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to Payson.
Both those guys, man, did a great job.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Yeah, it was a good night. Even with the bad weather, people came out and we had food. Shout out to Keena and Unmeasured Eats. And,
shit was good.
Hell yeah, it was a fun time. I can't wait till next year, you know.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad you guys are doing so. I think this is the way to grow for sure, is doing shows like that. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people they don't go out and do the shows, man, and it hurts them a lot. Yeah,
that's one thing I tell artists, regardless of what people tell me. Like, I'm going to still do open mics, things like that. Even because some artists might think, oh, it's beneath them or they don't need to do it, which whatever, if that's your route, it's cool. Just for me, if you think I'm good at what I do, like performing, it's because I go to open mics and I'll perform in front of nobody. I don't care. It's fun.
Well, that's what started all this. Yeah. Like I heard you when I was sitting outside and Knox came in, started just singing a song, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I came in because my friend would always come here, but I just never, I didn't even know they had a bar down here, to be honest. Yeah. When I was at the studio, for the first year I was there, doing my thing, I just stayed there, or went to Blaze. I never went this far down or like that, you know.
Well, it's kind of hidden too. Like a lot of people say that when they drive by, they're like, we never knew there was a bar here because we don't have a sign or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, it works. It's like a little duck off. I like it, but it still gets packed in here.
Oh yeah, we have more people that come in for Spaminic, the clothing store. They're like, where are you guys selling all this stuff? And we're like, oh no, that store shut down. So one of the things we do is whenever a business goes out, we like to take their signs.
Yeah.
That's why we have that one table in there. It's made out of a pure cake sign.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. And then the Spaminic's still up on the sidewalk outside.
Yeah.
We'll just adopt their stuff.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Keep their spirit alive.
Yeah. Right, man.
That's history for real.
Mm-hmm. So, have you ever thought about doing something with your lady? Because I know she's a singer too. Do you guys collaborate on anything?
Yeah, we have a few things. So I dropped an album in May called Voice is a Mystery.
So good. Go check that shit out.
Yeah, thank y'all. It's on all platforms. The main single, Attention, video out now. Check that out.
Dude, his videos are off the chain too.
You know, they're all right. I'm trying to get better at the creative direction part behind it. Yeah. But and the shout out to the videographers I work with.
What's the process in that? You say you're trying to get what's your process in the video creation side? You say you're trying to get better at the creative directing.
Yeah, I'm really at this point moving forward. I want to start treating it more like a film, just with my music as the score for it, instead of thinking of it as a music video. So I'm really trying to write things out like a script and story, because before I would just kind of think, all right, I just need a nice wardrobe in a tight location, or just really any fucking where, to be honest, because people don't really care. Music videos, people at the gas station get millions of views.
Dude, the ones you guys are doing right down here are dope as shit.
Yeah, but I still think and that's an aesthetic and that's a style. That's how rap is right now. It's kind of like that run and gun type look, and just look fresh or some shit, and you'll be fine if the music is popping and you got your partners out there, anyway, so making the music videos when I started was just all right, I just need an outfit, and then just find a place to shoot, and then I let the videographer basically be the director and editor. But lately I've been writing out specific scenes and the time frames, and it's coming. I actually just dropped another single called Whole Lot of Love, and I'm working on the video for that now. And that's going to be more like a film. So
dope.
You'll see what I mean, like, you know, in the future when I actually drop this stuff that I'm talking about. But I'm just moving forward. Like I said, I want to treat my videos like films instead of like music videos, because I'm getting older and all that run and gun stuff. I'm just kind of growing out of it. Yeah. I like doing it when I was, but I'm going to just move on with my musical life.
Well, dude, I've heard, your lyrics, like you said, this comes from a deep place. So you need a narrative around that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one thing if you're doing like that mumble rap bullshit and you're just outside, mumbling in front of the gas station. Yeah. But now the story you're telling a story when you sing a song. So I think you need a visual story to represent that too. Yeah. So I think it's really smart to go into the narrative side of things.
Yeah, for sure. To really tell the story visually as well.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with that, because I mean that's storytelling is my jam. So if you ever want to sit down and collab on something like that, I'm down.
We should for sure.
I've never done a music video, but I have friends that have done a lot of music videos, so I'm sure they would come and help out with it too.
Yeah, no, I definitely need help doing this stuff. So
because I think directing is really the way I need. It's kind of my it's my next take in the industry too. Because I did the acting thing, did the editing thing. I think directing is like is like the next step in my evolution too.
Yeah.
So it'd be tight to direct some music videos for you.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll get you on as a Spielberg.
I'm down with it, dude.
With the chair and everything.
Yeah.
A little thing that.
No chair needed. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the show on the 30th. I'll be here that night. I'll be here with you that night. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good run. So everyone come out on the 30th. Maybe we'll do a little champagne toast at the end of the night. Just,
I know.
That's going to be like our New Year's, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I did it like kind of the day before, because I know New Year's Eve night, people are just going to be all over the place.
They'll be everywhere, dude. Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to do something the night before.
Yeah.
So, get drunk. Just don't get too drunk unless you don't give a shit and just want to go 2 nights in a row. Because I know a lot of people, everyone around here, they don't mind.
It's New Orleans, man.
I'm kind of like I drink a lot, but it's hard for me to do consecutive days. I don't think there's a way I could do that.
Same here,
unless I smoke a lot of weed before.
So I always got really bad hangovers, still do.
Yeah, me too.
But then one night my friend was telling me, she's like, look, if after you get drunk, you go home to your house and you smoke a little weed and you go to sleep and you wake up the next day and you just get up and you take a puff off the weed again, she's like, your hangover is going to be gone. And I was like, there's no fucking way. And I swear to God, it works.
Yeah, it does. That's why I need weed. There's no way I could I hate going home drunk knowing I ain't got weed at home.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is going to fucking suck. But I'm trying not to do that as much anymore. Like today, I'm fine. My wife had a show last night and I drank a few, but she was drunker than I was. But don't tell her I said that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she got drunk after the performance, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. She got free drinks, and she never drinks. It's just funny to see her like drinking because she's a lightweight. I can handle mine. I just hate the hangover.
Dude, the hangovers are so rough, especially when you get a little older. Like, I don't know how old you are. Are we the same age?
I just turned 30.
Okay, yeah. I'm a little older than you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting to that point where drinking is harder to do.
I think 30s when it hit me too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, I was pouring it up, man.
It didn't even affect you. You're just like going in.
Yeah, I mean, I was bartending on Bourbon Street. Yeah. So I mean, we were drinking, every night.
Yeah, I'm sure that was
watching the sunrise.
Time. Yeah, I'm sure that was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did a song a while back with what was the guy's name? It's the Juvenile Son, right?
No, we haven't dropped anything yet, but we do have music together. But I dropped a song with Jay Jones and BJ on the album Voices of Mystery.
Yeah.
And then
I'm trying to think of like rappers that cause that guy's he's a NOLA legend, Juvenile.
Yeah.
So it's cool that his son's like going in that route too.
Yeah. And what's crazy is like he doesn't even sound like him at all. Like,
really?
He has a whole different. To me, Young Juvie sounds like a West Coast rapper. No offense at all. That's my dog. I hear that. Like, it seems like he's from Cali or some shit when I hear him rap. But yeah, he's cool as hell. Shout out to Juvie, man. I'm actually going to go see him later. We're about to do a session and get some more work in.
Oh, that's what's up.
But we're going to drop something soon. We're going to shoot something and it's going to be tight.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I was listening to, was it Mims the other day? Is Mims from New Orleans? You know who Mims is?
No, I don't think. From way back in the day.
This is the way.
Oh yeah, no, that's what's his name? I know who you're talking about. Baby Boy the Prince.
Yeah. Dude, I heard him. He was singing Marrero, and I was like, hold up, this guy's from New Orleans too.
Yeah, dude. He made that was a huge hit back in the day.
I didn't realize that many rappers from down here. Manny Fresh was like cranking them out, huh?
Yeah, I mean Manny Fresh. Man, there's a huge list of people like influential artists.
Most of the rappers, that we know, man. That and then you got 666 Mafia was from Memphis.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much good talent is just sitting in the middle of the United States.
Yeah, the South, especially for hip hop. I mean, it used to be hip hop was like dominated by New York in the North, but not lately, but there was a huge stretch of time where the South was just taking over, and like even people up north trying to do the trap stuff and like. But it all evolved into just nowadays. I don't know how to describe it. Everybody is just, it's all like one big thing now. Like you can't really tell where people are from. I don't feel
right by their sound.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, some things like drill, I know it's either New York or like overseas type music, but or Chicago.
What'd you call it?
Drill.
What is that?
That's like trap, but like even harder.
Okay.
It's like crazy. And it's like a certain way the drum pattern is. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. A lot of like, well, actually there's different types of drill. They have like the Chicago stuff, like Chief Keef and all that, just like crazy, like hard music. It's like, and then the overseas stuff sometimes could be a little softer, like the melodies and shit, but it's just the way the drums are. I don't know. I can't give you an example right now of what drill type song, but just know it's popular.
Yeah.
And that you could tell where that's from, but everything else is kind of hard to tell where people are from.
Well, I mean, there's such a collaborative effort now. Like the beats are probably being made somewhere else.
Yeah. Like on Voices of Mystery, like the main single I've been promoting, Attention, that one was produced by a kid in Russia that he sends beats to Jay Jones, and whatever beats Jones don't like, because he never picks a beat, Jones. He'd be sending that bitch all day, got 1,000 beats. But I mean, he picks some tight ones when he finally does.
Yeah.
But so I just take whatever they don't want most of the time. I'm just like, shit, let me hear that. And that was one of them. I think I was flicking through and nobody really thought anything of that beat. So I did it and I like it a lot. But I got a surprise on the 30th. We're going to do Attention in a different way.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be cool.
That's the guitar guy, huh?
Yeah. My friend Pug. We're actually also next year. I'm still like working out how I'm going to present this, but me and my friend Pug are starting a band. Well, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a band, but it's called Lost Man. And it's just I just get in a different mode when I'm Lost Man, and he's Lost Man too. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's going to be fun when we get it together and start doing shows, because I want to do some stuff here and like put on a real show, like not just music, but like different things that go along with it. Like
that's why I love what you're doing, man, because you're branching out. Like, you know, some people come in here and they're like, yeah, I play music, and they just come here and they do their song and they get up and leave. Like the shit you're doing where you're bringing in other people and you're doing stuff in between. Like that's cool, man. That's a show. Yeah,
for sure. It's like taxing on my brain to try to like focus and get these things executed like precisely how I envision them. But
that's why I try to stay out of your way, man. I'm like, look, let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, it's fine, dude.
If not, I'll be over here.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting me do all the shows and, you know, expanding and putting other artists on, like, and different people that have never been here, never heard of it, you know, and they, you know, hopefully they'll come back and they enjoyed being here.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I love people that are doing something. And I don't care if you fail, if you fall on your face. I don't care. If you're actually trying to do something, I'm here with you.
Yeah, you got to stay in motion. Yeah. If you sit like and you become stagnant, like the salute, you just have to stay in motion. Like sitting, like being depressed and stuff like that. This is like kind of off topic, but it's on topic. You just have to stay in motion, because when you're stagnant, that's when like bad thoughts occur and you start doubting yourself, or the idle mind's the devil's playground.
That's right,
the
baby.
old legend.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Stay in motion, whatever that means. Even if it's barely anything, don't let people put you down or make you feel like what you're doing because you're not a celebrity. You're not like, it doesn't, none of that shit. It matters, I guess, to you if you want it to matter, but it really doesn't.
No, none of that shit matters, man.
It matters if you're happy and having fun doing what you're doing, and if you can make some money, yeah, that's tight. But it's really hard to be Drake or one of these, like, you're not. I'm not saying you're not gonna be that, but it's hard to be that, and that takes a type of person and like a work ethic that not a lot of people have. So.
Yeah. It's true, man. Like those guys that reach those levels, like they've eaten a lot of shit over their life.
Mm-hmm.
So
of course, you
kind of got to get used to that, man. That's with anything in life. Like anything you're doing, you're going to eat shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on how high you want to get in the level that you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be ready for it.
Yep.
You got to keep moving, keep shaking.
Yeah, and know if it's hard to do, then it's worth it. Pretty much.
Yeah. This I don't. And some people will make the argument that that it's getting even harder these days. But I think it's the juxtaposition of it is harder because there's more opportunity. Like you can go and you can record in your bedroom if you really want to. Mm-hmm. So you have this like there's the difficulty, but there's also easy. So I mean, there's going to be more people that are trying to do it, which makes it harder. But it's also easier to get started.
Yeah.
And so I think everyone just if you got a dream, go for it, man. Like whatever it is, go get your iPhone. Film a movie, film a music video.
And that's the thing. The technology allows you to just try anything. It's way easier to do creative things. You have a lot more like help from the computer nowadays than we did coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, it was rare to find someone with like a little home studio. Even though like it was possible, obviously, it was just like I didn't see it that much, and I came from like a small town. But like nowadays, like you could literally record an album on your phone on GarageBand. If you have an iPhone, it's already installed when you buy the phone.
They're trying to make
you could make a whole album.
They're like, here's the tools. They're on the phone.
Now they're not selling you a dream. If it's just if you believe that shit, like. Just because people because I've even heard like other artists, like established people that are older, like bands and whatnot, like in interviews, people just say like, don't try to be an artist, what's the point of like get out this game, it's hard. Like
people say that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
When are they trying to talk other people out of doing it? Yeah,
like the younger, like say the interviewer's like, what's your message to the young artists out there, and they're just like, don't get in this game, just find a regular job. You don't want this. Like I've heard that from older people, and
well, they were in it older for the wrong reasons. What that means, like if you really,
like, that's what I mean. As in, like, don't tell people not to do something because their motivation might not be the same as yours. Yeah. Not everyone's trying to be a millionaire off of it, so that's just like shitty advice to tell people that like look up to you.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like say the artists and shit. I'm just saying there are like older bands and established artists that have said like in interviews and just discourage, oh, don't get into this. Like, that I feel like that's the wrong advice. I'm just saying that for the future. If I'm like, in 5 years I'm popping and they ask me my advice, I'm not gonna say that.
In 5 years when you are popping, not
yeah. When I am.
Dude, everything is energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the more energy you dump into a system, and it's essentially a system, right?
Yeah.
The system that you're creating around yourself, the more energy you dump into that, the more it's going to grow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the message that these older guys should be sending to these younger guys. Like I had Mobo on here a while back. You know Mobo? Mobo's a West Bank rapper.
I don't know. Maybe.
Older guy, man. He's dope as shit, man. But the podcast that he and I did, dude, that guy was dropping knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. And he was talking about how,
check that out,
bro, it was dope, man. But he had such good advice for the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's a guy that he's been putting out music for years now. And he also has worked a full-time job. He just does it because like, that's his passion, And I think that's the ultimate like goal that you want to really get to, is you want to get to a point where there's something inside of you that's burning so bad that you just need to get it out. And that's that creative energy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still going to be doing your other stuff. But like I said, if you can make some money off of your art, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, discouraging
would be good.
Discouraging people though. That's
No, you shouldn't do that. And any artists out there listening, don't let, not even just artists, anybody tell you like it's oversaturated and there's too much music out, or like, just don't worry about it. You will shine through if you're just being yourself. When you try to be like others, that's when you fall in line.
Here's some advice to those young artists from me, a guy who has no musical experience at all. Make a diss track and flame those old guys.
Yeah, make a nice diss. Then you'll get some real attention. Then you'll go viral.
I mean, that's what happened to MGK and Eminem, right?
Mm-hmm.
That dude.
Oh, yeah.
Is he with one of the... No, he was with...
He went at the GOAT.
But now, who's he with now? Megan Fox? Is that her name?
Who... Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You can get a Megan Fox if you flame your idols.
Yeah. I think they drink blood together, I heard.
Hey, man, that's what you're into.
I heard celebrities do that, but you didn't hear from me.
What's the point of that?
I don't know. Keeps them young and energized so they could film all these shitty movies.
Right. What was the movie they did in New Orleans?
Shit, they made a lot of movies.
Power? The one that MGK was in? You see that one?
No, I don't know what that is.
It had Jamie Foxx in it. Machine Gun Kelly was like one of the leads.
Yeah.
Like I have a very, I can't stand that dude.
You have a vendetta against him.
Yeah, it's he went against Eminem, you know. Like,
I know, but Eminem ain't even do anything back to him. He was just chilling.
Well, there's no reason to. Yeah. It's like, dude, this guy's such garbage that like I'm not even gonna. I mean, he did make a track back. Eminem did. And it was really good too. Mm-hmm. But dude, anyone who is that, I don't know. I don't want to say he's not talented because MGK is talented. Yeah. But it's just not my kind of music.
Yeah, me neither. He's just like a tool. I don't know.
Yeah, and then seeing him in that movie, it just immediately threw me out of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
you didn't want to watch it.
Yeah,
anymore.
I was like, I don't even want to see this movie anymore because this guy is so just not believable.
Yeah, he's not a good actor.
Yeah, but Jamie Foxx pulled it back though. He's good.
Yeah, of course, he's one of the best. He's like versatile.
It's a dope movie though. It was filmed here in New Orleans. I recommend anyone going to check it out if they got time.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yes, MGK, not my cup of tea.
What kind of rappers do you like, or what kind of music do you like? I guess. Because you're probably all over the charts.
Yeah, I mean, all over the place, but there's like a few like artists, like I said, Kanye, Don Toliver. I like him. He's from Houston or somewhere around there. I don't know where he's from.
Houston's got some good rappers.
Yeah, but I like.
Does he have that Houston twang?
Yeah, he's more of like a singer, but it's like over cool, like mellow trap beats. I don't know.
I'll check him out. Don Toliver.
He signed to Travis Scott's label. If you ever listen to Travis Scott, it's kind of music like that, but it's a little less dark than Travis. Mm-hmm. But I like Travis too. I listen to a lot of old R&B stuff. One of my favorite band ever is called Prefab Sprout. They're from like the 80s. They're from somewhere in Europe. I don't know.
Never heard of those.
Yeah, but they're like a really tight band. I don't know if they're active anymore, but they have stuff dating back to like, the 80s, and they're awesome. Yeah, Prefab Sprout. Y'all should look that up if you like. It's like rock, like alternative. I don't know how to describe it. It's just really good. And the guy that writes all the stuff, his name is Paddy Mickaloon, I think. He's also one of my biggest inspirations for writing. It's random that I even know who these people are. It's because my cousin, he's into all this like obscure type of stuff, and he's always trying to show me like, the craziest music or like stuff that nobody else is on, from other places. And that was one band that he showed me years ago that I just gravitated to, and I know like almost all their music, like all the albums, everything. That's like one of my biggest things. But obviously I like rap, but yeah. So Prefab, old R&B, Don Toliver. For some reason, I just really like his music. That's one of the last new artists I like. I mean, he came out like 3 years ago or so, but.
I'm gonna check both of those guys out because I hadn't heard either one of them, but I'll check them out. Dude, I'm the same way, man. I'm all over the place with music.
Yeah.
But I think I listen to music maybe like, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
I just keep, my Spotify just keeps rolling.
Yeah, no, I like Spotify. Shout out to them. That's what I use.
You use Spotify too? Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all follow me on there, Knox Ketchum.
That's right. Knox Ketchum, man. Check his stuff out.
Yeah, get them numbers up. Yeah.
What, so a while back, you can tell me if you think this idea is good. NFTs, most people think they're just a scam and all this stuff, but I think that they have utility. And I think one of the utilities they have is in the music industry. We may have talked about this before. I'm not sure. But I think that one of the biggest things that one of the biggest problems artists have nowadays is the marketing. Mm-hmm. Like it's hard to market yourself with so many other rappers out there, right?
Yeah.
Or so many other artists out there, I guess I should say. So I think one of the cool ways to use NFTs for this is that you basically create a funnel where your marketing team is your audience. Mm-hmm. So what you could do is, since these NFTs, what you can do is you can program them to do something. So if you sell these NFTs to your fans for like a cheap price, maybe like $1 a piece, these NFTs, and then you can write the code in the NFT that attaches half of your Spotify streaming rights to the NFTs. Then every time that they push your music, they're getting paid to push your music.
Wow.
So it basically gives them a piece of the pie. And then whenever you blow up, and they turn around and resell the NFT to someone else, because it's like now, they bought it for $1. Now it's worth, $500 or whatever. You actually get 18% of that.
Yeah.
So every time that NFT resells, because it's a revenue generating asset now, every time that revenue generating asset resells, you get a piece of the pie. So if it resells for $500 this time, and then you get even bigger, and now it's worth $10,000, when it resells, you get 18% of $10,000.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this later too.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Dude, I had the NFT thing. Like there's so much utility you can use that for. It's just not being utilized right now. And I have no idea if that's if that's purposeful. Because I just
don't think people are aware, because I have no idea.
Yeah, I was even talking to Zony Mash one time about using their, how they come out with all these cool cans.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Zony Mash.
Yeah, so they could do the same thing with their cans. They could just every time they come out with a new can, they sell like 10 NFTs with that can on it. Mm-hmm. It's basically that brand can just spins around, and they can attach some code to that, which gives a discount for anyone that comes to their brewery. And once again, cool. Every time it resells, they get a piece of the pie off that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's a good idea.
There's so many good use cases for those, but I think the music industry, I think any artistic industry would benefit greatly from them, because it gives the artist a piece of the pie every time their work resells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a really unique idea too. I don't think people are aware of things like that. Like the average artist, even artists that are like mid-tier, don't even know how to market, or even the big ones don't know.
Yeah. Not everyone could benefit from that for sure, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to talk about that too, and maybe come up with some marketing schemes
down together.
Because that is one thing I'm missing. I'm known kind of, but online it's just, I need to cut through the static. So I need to find a way to really do that.
What's a whole the world right now is expanding at such a rate that it's hard for anyone to keep up. Mm-hmm. Because for me, I like to know a little bit of everything. And there's so much to know nowadays that it's impossible. Even with crypto, when it first came out, people were gravitating towards it, and you could kind of understand all of what crypto was about. But then all of a sudden it just went boom and exploded. And now people are having to specialize because there's no way you can learn it all. So even with the marketing stuff, like the online marketing, I have a buddy in California who does wedding photography. And the guy's one of the most amazing photographers I've ever seen in my life. He also travels. So if anyone wants a good wedding photographer, TNK Photography, look him up on any of the social medias. But he was even having trouble with the online stuff. So what he did was he went and hired one of his buddies who's like a professional at this. And the guy he knows the times to post. He knows the certain ads to run to push him to the top of Google's list. So if you go search wedding photography on the West Coast, he's like the first one that pops up. Yeah. But there's like a science behind it to work the algorithms to your benefit. Yeah. And that's what I think's insane about this world we live in is you could be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't have the correct people around you, then you're not ever going to make it to the top of Google's list. Yeah. It's kind of like your, what am I thinking of? It's there's like someone there that's like holding you down essentially.
Yeah. Damn.
So you got to know how to work the system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's everything in this world.
Yeah, for sure. Especially online now. Everything's online.
Yeah,
the
man.
Marketing. That's really like I do a lot of grassroots, you know, like word of mouth type marketing, I guess you could say.
This is a good city for that, though.
Yeah. And also artists out there, a good way to get your name out, and it's kind of like a marketing tactic is to collab with other artists and, you know, feed off their energy and gain, you know, some of their fans, and people that support them will in turn probably support you if y'all work well together, you know. And so I believe in collaborating big time, especially for rappers. It's so easy just sending open verses to other people. Like, just even if that's all y'all do. Like,
what do you guys do?
Like, just, you know, creating a song and leaving a verse open and just sending the song over to another rapper, even if y'all can't link up, you know.
And to say, fill this in?
Yeah, basically.
And then what do? They send you back their verse and you mix it into your song, or do they?
Yeah, you could do it like that, or send them the whole session and let their engineer do it. Like, it just depends. There's ways to do it, but I'm just saying that to say it's pretty simple and easy. Like, if you're a rapper, you'll know what I mean. Like, having an open verse for like another rapper, or asking someone that you know to do like a hook for you or something, you know. Not just someone you know, but like an artist.
I mean, if you ever want me to do a hook for you, I got you.
Yeah, no, that's cool. We'll get in there. Put the auto-tune on.
That's right. We need some heavy auto-tune from you.
I got you. So, yeah. And anybody out there needs studio time, hit me up.
Get him up, man. Knox Ketchum. He's actually, you're still right down the street?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
You got big plans for the New Year's?
No, besides me just like getting my shit together, like marketing on the marketing side, and nothing at the studio really. I don't have anything planned. We're just chilling.
Nice.
Just working, really, you know, trying to bring in more clients and making more money. That's definitely one of the things we want to do.
So like with the albums you're dropping, are you trying to do one of those every year? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I'll probably drop at least one project a year. It's just hard to market all those songs at once. Like, dropping the album this year, I'm glad I did it, but as of now, I'm just going to do it single by single, because it's easier for me to keep that in front of me and like put money behind, you know, single songs instead of dropping 10 at one time. It's kind of hard to get people to listen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do singles right now.
Even me, whenever I hear like a new album's out, like sometimes I'll you know, hit play and play through the album the first time to see if I like any of the songs on it. But that's a heavy commitment for people nowadays. There's so much music out there.
Even for me, and I'm like a real music fan. I feel like there are people that will sit there and I'll listen front to back, but you need, you know, set time aside to do that and get the vibe right. But if y'all listen to my album front to back, you'll enjoy it. Is
there a story behind like your album front to back? Is there a way to?
Yeah, I mean, not so much a story. I mean, there's definitely a story in the songs. Like you can envision, but nothing like specific. It's kind of like to your interpretation, but it is like they're all personal songs, you know. Some of them are a little more just happy, but a lot of them are like more on the somber side. But yeah, front to back, like musically, it is kind of like a story. Like lyric wise, not so much, but the way the music flows, like from 1 to 10, is you know, I try to keep it to where it flow, like the vibe changes, but there's a good transition in between them. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just like from one thing, then boom, a whole different sound, and it catches you off guard. I feel like I did a good job of keeping the sounds like, you know, flowing together and, you know, coinciding with each other. So yeah, voice is a mystery. Do you,
when you're putting an album together like that, do you have like a ton of songs written and you like pick out which ones you want to stick in there?
Yeah, but I usually have the album in mind though when I'm doing it. So I'll make the songs. Not all of them will make it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, the track lists look way different when I first started than when it ended, because I ended up getting like different features from people that I didn't expect that I would. Mm. Like Ko Youngin, shout out to him. He's a rapper from the city. We have a song on there called 12 Hour Flight. And produced by Rossetti also. Shout out to him. And I didn't really plan on having that on the album, but I met him and we just made the song and then shot the video the same day. The video's out on YouTube. And so I added that, but it fit well.
You make it sound so easy, man. We wrote a song that day and then we shot the video too.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I mean, this stuff, like being over there at the studio, like sometimes it's stressful just what the amount of people and like, and me building the nerve to just like meet new people. Cause I'm not like a street dude or anything. Like Young, like the fact I'm even doing songs with him is just, it's just weird. Even he said my style is confusing. Like I do singing stuff and then I'll just do a song with like one of the most street rappers around here.
Yeah.
Like, but
that's that collab you were talking about though.
Yeah, but you know, and working with him has helped me a lot, and I hope it's helped him like working, you know. And so yeah, sometimes things during the process of the album like happen and you'll add songs that you didn't know you were gonna, and it's always like with me, all the songs I do on the fly, like I didn't expect to do, those are the ones that stay, and all the ones I sat there and like tried I still drop them or whatever, but it's always like those quick, like catching a wind of inspiration type songs that you enjoy the most.
Yeah, man. When you hit that flow, dude, there's nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've noticed that too in my work. Just like that's why I love, there's a competition in film. It's called the 48-hour competition, 48-hour film fest, I should say.
Yeah.
And basically you get 2 days, you get 48 hours to write and produce a film. And those like bring out
like
the real
film edit.
Yeah. Yeah. So you basically get a genre the night of, and you go and you write for that genre, and then you film it and you edit it in 48 hours, turn in Sunday.
Wow.
And that brings out the real creative filmmakers, because that's hard to do.
It is.
And that's like my favorite. Those are my favorite films I've ever made, is doing those, because something just comes over me during that night and I'm like, oh man, let's write this. And something great always comes out of it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's how it kind of feels in music too. Like being around different artists, some of them, it's just like the beats playing and they're already on it. Like 10, 15 minutes. All right. And I've done that, you know, too. I can do that. But sometimes, I mean, I've noticed that I take a little more time than other artists. But it just depends on the vibe of the song. Like these little quick rap songs, yeah, I'll do. But some of the ones that you might have heard me perform that are real like ballads, like that shit took me some time to.
You can tell they're polished too. That's why they're so good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I rehearse a lot. That's another thing, artists rehearse, get on some shows, and when you do accept shows and you have shows, rehearse and make sure they have a sound check, so you know, make sure you sound good before you go on.
What do you do when you rehearse? You rehearse at the house in front of the mirror?
Yeah, even if you don't have any, like if you don't have a PA system or anything, just grab a comb and pretend it's a mic and look in the mirror. Don't look too hard. Like you just got to be natural, because you will like get caught up like, where should I put my hands? Like what? One hand got the mic, so that's always good. You only have one hand now. Like, it's really not that hard. Just don't put it in your pocket. That's for sure.
Just point at people.
Don't ever put your hand in your pocket, because I've seen that shit. And people, it's more embarrassing for you to feel embarrassed than to just like, I don't know how to describe it, but like if you're, because I'm not like a life of the party person. I feel like an introvert, and I'm like, I have my antisocial moments. But when it comes to performing, I feel like it would be worse if I look awkward. So I just make sure I do a good job so I don't look awkward. And then I have nothing to worry about.
Well, dude, people have a radar when it comes to looking fake. Like they know when you're faking it.
Yeah,
so that's why it's good just to let go.
Yeah, and people don't like seeing you be all bashful, especially when they're drunk.
Yeah.
And even if you're not. I try not to get drunk or smoke weed before I perform, but I fail almost all the time.
Well, I was going to say that's a very interesting thing to talk about, because I know that there are some, I'm going to refer to comedians here, but a lot of comedians, they say they don't like to perform when they're drinking, because it just like kills their timing.
Yeah, that too, for sure. Yeah, you'll be dragging on, or you might say some shit you didn't mean to say, which is still funny. Makes for good content.
Shouts out Kramer.
Yeah, Kramer. Yeah. Oh my God.
He had to be drunk that night.
Yeah, it was an old incident. I don't think any of the youngsters will understand.
Just go Google it. You'll see it.
Kramer. Yep.
That guy is wild, man.
Mm-hmm. Most of these freaking celebrities are wild.
But you think that's got to come with the territory, right? When you've eaten as much shit as these people have to get to that level, like you got to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, just being on camera all the time. And
that's me, dude. I like, I'm getting too comfortable on this podcast.
Yeah.
Like just because it's like me and you here chatting, right?
Yeah.
Like this shit doesn't even faze me anymore.
Yeah.
So now sometimes whenever I finish the podcast, someone's like, "Hey man, you might delete that part." And like, what are you talking about? They're like, "Oh, the part where you said this." And I'm like, "Oh shit. Yeah, that might be misinterpreted."
Oh wow. No, I mean we're good. And I don't even care. I don't care about like getting canceled or whatever. I don't have any feelings that should get me canceled. Even if I defend people that like say crazy shit, you know what? It's their right. You don't have to listen.
That's what I feel about it too, man.
Stop giving people energy. Stop Stop love hating or whatever you call it, where you just like love to hate somebody.
That's a lot of people nowadays.
Fucking obsessed with people.
But I mean, those are people that aren't doing anything.
No, of course. They're just watching. Like to get worked up about what a celebrity says is so fucking dumb. Like obviously they have influence and power. You know what? You should, I guess, be mad then. Now that I think about it, but it is their right, and you can't be trying to shut people down for shit that they say, especially if they're not actively out here like killing people or doing what they say. Even if they say they're gonna do something, like as long as it's not like real threats, you shouldn't like get online and start tweet. I mean, you can do what you want, whatever. I'm not telling people.
My thing about that is celebrities only have influence over weak-minded people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. They have influence, but you know,
if
certain demographics.
If you can like if you can be your own person, then you can hear anybody's idea and just go, well, that's dumb, and walk away.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to listen to what they're saying and go and do it.
You can unfollow.
Yeah, unfollow them. Like do whatever you want to do, but don't like stop letting these people influence you. That's what I say.
Yeah, getting worked up about something someone says is unless they're talking about you. Like if this doesn't pertain to you, it's not your fight. You're wasting your energy.
Even if they are talking about you, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that too.
Like let it bounce off of you. Like people talk shit about me all the time. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter until you actually take action.
Yeah.
Talking is pretty cheap.
The influencers are the dumbest fucking thing on this planet right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them.
I saw a video the other day, and it's this dude driving down the road, and this chick is like, I don't know, filming a video off to the side of the street, and he's like, yep, there's one. And he drives down the street, and there's another one. And he's like, what the fuck is going on in this world?
He was seeing influencers?
Yeah, just like they had their little tripods up and they were filming a video and they're like, oh, we're trying to be an influencer. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that's one of the top desired professions for children right now.
And the fact that it's a profession. They're making tons of money off this shit.
They are. Because it's the internet, man. It's here to stay, I guess.
I mean, the internet is
until the great collapse.
Right. It's a good tool, man.
It is. I love it. I'm glad it exists.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm the age I am to where we saw it come up.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just always here. Like how kids that were born in like 2005 or some shit, they're like, that shit is always here for them.
Oh, but, yeah. And you see what kind of kids it's making too.
Yeah.
Like at least we got to play outside and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's either they're geniuses and they're making money, or they're complete psychos and they're feeding their demons through the online. Whatever.
That's a lot of it, man. It's sad too. I've seen a lot of people, go down that route, and it's really sad.
Yep, the phone really takes over their mind.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I got to post this today. Oh, I need to look like this when I go out because if someone sees me.
Yeah, or like getting upset about not getting likes or attention. Like really. I know it affects everybody. Like when especially creative people that are trying to get their stuff out, but just please don't take it personal. Like people see you, trust me. Like everybody's seeing each other and they're talking. They see you, they watch you. Don't worry. They're just not liking anything, but they're watching. You got their attention. Don't worry about it.
And that's a crazy thing too, is that likes are like currency nowadays.
Yeah.
They're like, even though they're watching your shit, they're not liking it. It's like, well, why are they not liking my stuff?
But really, what is that going to do for you? Yeah. I mean, it just makes you happy for 1.0 seconds.
Yeah, it's like all your own ego.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to have one to an extent unless you just completely ego death like a monk or something. But in America, no, you're not going to be like that. There's too much. You're being solicited every single moment of your life to do something like outside of.
That's the one negative thing about the internet. It's like this collaborative tool, like especially on like Instagram now. And I think TikTok's probably the same. I don't have TikTok, but I see Instagram stories where like these people are taking something that someone else made and they're remaking it or like adding to it. And it's like this collaborative tool that if we use that way, it could. Yeah, it's for beautiful. Good things, yeah, it's a beautiful tool
for productive things. There's so much opportunity to move forward.
Yeah, this age though, man. I'm glad that I am the age that I am because when I tell people sometimes they're like, "Did you watch this as a kid?" I'm like, "No, I grew up with like 3 channels on the TV. We didn't have cable when I grew up, and we had dial-up internet until I was like, well, I think my parents just got high-speed internet.
Yeah.
So I mean, we had dial-up internet for the longest time.
Wow.
So when I was growing up, none of this stuff was available.
Yeah. Just you and the open road.
Where do you think it's going to go from here, though? Because this has been like 20 years, right?
Yeah. It's just going to keep any bad, like, not to be negative, but any like bad thing that's going on is just going to progressively get worse until there's like a breaking point. And then there'll be like a renaissance. But that entails so much that, it's, I can't even comprehend, but
a lot of variables to comprehend.
Yeah. It's just know there's major changes. And it's happening every day in people's personal worlds too. And that's the most important part. Just take care of your world and your people around you. And if everyone did that, then the whole world would be straight.
That's true, man. That's knowledge right there.
Wisdom from Knox.
Yeah, I'd like to try to scale out and see the big picture on these things, but they're right. There are so many variables nowadays. It's kind of impossible to do that.
Yeah, we'd have to like break it down and it would be separate interviews like about whatever I'm thinking.
Well, that's why I like this podcast because it gives me a chance to like, reach out and talk to a lot of people that I never would sit down and have 2-hour conversations with, on a personal level. Like the other day I had a guy on, he was born in Germany.
Yeah.
Berlin, Germany, when the wall was up, and he actually saw the wall fall before they moved to America.
Yeah.
And just his outlook on the world was amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, because at one point in the interview, I mentioned that, he lives in a first world country, and he's like, ha.
Yeah.
He laughed, and I was like, oh shit, elaborate on this. And he's like, well, you have first world ideas, but if you look at your infrastructure, like first world countries do not have potholes in the road everywhere. They don't, like the infrastructure of New Orleans is not
first world. Is a third world country.
That's what he was saying. He's like, dude, you guys have third world infrastructure here with first world ideas. And I was like, brilliantly put.
That's the charm about it. That's why people come here.
I like it.
Yeah. No, I knew. Me too. It's cool. New Orleans. Wow, what a place to be from.
Well, I'm not from. Are you from New Orleans?
No, I'm from St. Rose, which is like 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes away from here.
But a little small town, you said?
Yeah, right along the river, Mississippi River. But I do most of my work out here. So.
Oh yeah. You still live there, do you?
No. I live in Metairie now.
Okay.
I don't live in the city.
The storm?
Yeah, the storm that just passed. Yeah, but it wasn't as bad as like
the news was saying.
And yeah, no. I mean, some of the spots like in New Orleans got hit, like in Araby, and like the lower Ninth Ward got like hit with a tornado for like the second time this year, which is crazy. But yeah, besides the bad weather, shitty infrastructure, bad leadership, carjackings. It's pretty tight.
Right, yeah. No, that's part of the juxtaposition too, right? You got to have both, the duality. You got to have the bad and you have the good. The good is the people here. The bad is just like the shitty stuff that happens.
Yeah, of course. And every city, I'd rather be here though, because everywhere else seems very like unfriendly.
Dude, because I've done my traveling to other cities and stuff. This is by far my favorite city that I've ever been in.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it does have to do with the people and the culture that's down here. Like you don't find this in other places, especially back where I'm from. Where I'm from, people they don't come together. New Orleans is a city of togetherness, and I think that's the way. This is not the infrastructure, obviously, but this is a good way. The culture is a good way, a template for the way the world should be.
Yeah,
because all races come together, all this shit. Like none of that stuff matters down here.
Yeah, and it's so small. Like you see people like everywhere all the time when you're driving around. At least I do.
No, I do too.
I'm
man.
always seeing people, even people like a few of the people that have done open mics here. I'll remember I'll be driving somewhere and I'll see them on the sidewalk. Sometimes I'll holler at them, but the point is I just see a lot. Like it's such a small town. You're going to see the people often.
That's also why it's a good idea not to burn bridges down here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to do that because this city's way too small.
Yep.
And there's few opportunities for, at least in the music business, for real growth. So if you do meet somebody good and that could help you, make sure y'all stay on good terms because you're gonna keep seeing each other. And it'll drive you crazy if you're enemies with somebody. It's best to just play it cool.
Yeah, I don't do that enemy shit anymore, man. Too much energy.
Yeah. I'm not going to war with nobody.
Nah. Well, Knox, the 30th, we're doing a show here.
Yep. December 30th, 2022. I'm calling the show Goodbye 2022 because all the things that I've done this year. So I've done Poolside, which was in Kenner. It was at a house, at a mansion with a substantial size pool. And we had a bunch of people over. Shout out to Frank Marcelino. He's an artist on the label that I'm on, Broken Levy.
Love Frank.
Yeah, he's awesome. He performed at the Halloween show that we did, Nightmare on Ferret Street. All these things I'm trying to do annually. But yeah, the Poolside show, was a backyard show with the stage and everything. And we had a bunch of artists come through for that. Then we did Nightmare on Ferret Street, which was one of my personal favorite show that I've done this year. And then we did Friendsgiving on Ferret, which was awesome. And then we got Goodbye 2022. And we kept it a small lineup this time, just 3 artists. But I don't know exactly if they have anybody featured with them, so that there might be a couple other surprise guests. But December 30th, we're just gonna be drinking, have a toast at the end of the night.
That's dope, dude. Yeah, champagne toast on us. So come through and get you champagne toast. It's been a good night, man.
Yep,
always. You got any words of wisdom for the kids before we leave?
Shoot, just the motivation's in the work. That's all I could keep saying because I'm saying it to myself. So stay motivated, stay working, stay in motion. Don't get stagnant on us.
It's a good lesson to have. Thanks for coming in today, Knox.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.